What is the most not safe for work thing you have witnessed at a party? Hi Reddit guys, subscribe now, or I will expose your drunken pictures. Dude ran to the bathroom, yelled I gotta it, then pulled his pants down, sat his ass on the toilet, and puked on the floor in front of him. Realizing his mistake, he stood up, faced the toilet to puke, and shat on the floor behind him. Amazing. Partying in the barracks. My room had all the beer in the fridge. I was going down on this girl when I felt a hand on my left shoulder. Briefly paused to look up when my buddy says "Extant, you're doing a great job." I just needed to grab a beer. I went right back to what I was doing. I love this story more than most of the other ones. We were throwing a house party for one of our roommates that was turning 21. Said birthday boy was wasted fairly early in the night and was placed in the bathtub with the curtain drawn. Their logic was that he could sleep and if he threw up he'd be in the tub. A couple hours later this girl shows up. She was a friend of a friend, 18, maybe 5 foot tall super white girl who just got off her shift at Twin Peaks. As the mostly sober host, I welcomed her and went outside to have a cigarette. Maybe 15 minutes later I return inside to find the tiny white girl on the floor puking into a trash can. Well, that escalated quickly, but not shocking considering her size. The start of the weirdness was that she was conversing with my friend Daniel, in fluent Spanish. Oh, okay, so she speaks Spanish. A little surprising, but whatever. So between heaves Daniel and I help her to the bathroom to pray to the porcelain god. She wants to shut the bathroom door. I say sure, but not to lock the door so we can get in there if she passes out to make sure she doesn't, die. Of course, as soon as she goes in she locks the door. What we had forgotten was that birthday boy was asleep in the tub. He was awoken by what he described as the worst smelling it he had ever smelled in his life. Not wanting to let this random girl know he was hiding in the bathtub, he did his best to keep quiet through the gagging. Tiny girl had diarrhea so rank that she decided that she was too embarrassed to face the party. Her solution? Climb out the tiny bathroom window. When we got the door unlocked and went in we found her halfway out the window, her covered thong on the floor, and birthday boy pale and sweating in the tub after his unwanted birthday surprise. She slept on her side on the couch with a female friend to watch over her. The next morning she claimed to not remember a thing and swears she doesn't know a word of Spanish. What sort of magical tequila did this girl drink? Everclear. At a party in a huge house on the lake that had a second living room upstairs. Walking up the stairs I can hear all this commotion going on. As I enter the room there is this guy smashing a chick on the couch, doggy style, right there in front of everyone. He was getting high fives from other guys and people were just standing around watching and cheering. Well, a few years later, I get married and at Thanksgiving dinner with my in-laws when my brother-in-law brings his new girlfriend to meet the family. You guessed it, it was her, same girl that was getting smashed on the couch. Well, he ended up getting married to this girl and now every time I see them at a family get together all I can see is the image from that night at the lake. Did you ever tell him? Nah, I never told him. Didn't have the heart. I did tell my wife however, about her new sister's fun-filled past. Also, imagine how that conversation would go. Huh, it must be strange. Friend hired a prostitute for his b-day party and she proceeded to bang any guy who wanted it. None of them even knew. They all thought she was some chick who was visiting from Georgia. They still tell the story like she wasn't a prostitute. Was she paid beforehand or did she keep book and left a receipt later? She was paid by my friend. Was it cheaper to get the season pass? I think they got the wristband. I was at a Halloween party in the last year of high school, where 2 friends of mine had a threesome with a girl in the bathtub while one other girl watched. That's how my friend lost his virginity. Best 37 seconds of his life. Huh. Happened at my house. Girl came over, got way too drunk, took off all her clothes and started masturbating on my stairs and then on the couch and then back on my stairs. Then she fell down said stairs. We tried putting her to bed before all this went down. But she kept coming back out, each time with less and less clothes on. Eventually we all just kinda ignored her and let her do her thing. Imagine putting on a show like that and getting ignored. Maybe if she did a little butt stuff, this story would have turned out differently. Was not expecting you to be the same guy. Grandma, I know you're excited to be back on the market, but please try to behave yourself at grandpa's wake. A guy and a girl full on freaking missionary style at a warehouse party. Dozens of people just walked by with barely a glance. Ah, San Francisco. A girl was proud that she could fit a 1.25L Coke bottle in her PP. Everyone was like, yeah, cool. That's kind of weird to tell everyone, and everyone carries on. About 3 hours later everyone is fricked up and the party is getting a bit weird. Some people had taken acid, some had dropped some marcaps, some were smoking weed. Standard stuff. This girl is off her face on Mdma and is adamant about wanting to show everyone how cavernous her PP is. So, she takes her skirt off and readied herself, then proceeds to put a 1.25L Coke bottle halfway inside herself. Everyone was shocked, but fascinated. She was so proud. She wasn't so proud the following week at school when everyone called her Cola Candice. She should have tried it with Mentos. Road tripped to Alabama with my college roommate so he can win his ex's heart back. It was a fun, drunk week party hopping. One frat party we went to was outdoors and we were already wasted before getting there. My roommate and his ex were making out and I told them to get a room. They then vanished into the night and left me alone to talk to this dude from New York who looked just like Christian Bale, or least according to my drunk brain. I got his number for some reason and went looking for my roommate. Next thing I know, a group of girls are screaming like they found a dead body. Behind a truck was my roommate and his lady going at it doggy style while he is flexing behind her to all of the people now staring at them. They were kicked out, which meant I was also kicked out. I still have Christian Bale's number in my phone. Did it ever work out with your roommate at his ex? That is its own story. To make it short, no. My roommate ended up hooking up with my girlfriend of 3 years behind my back. They are now married with a kid. I haven't spoken to either of them since 2009. Holy crap, that's messed up. Sorry man. Also, I thought you were gay based on the Christian Bale stuff. I mean, I'd go gay for Christian Bale. A few of us were sitting in a room smoking up when a drunk guy came running in. He looked at us, pulled his pants down and lit his pubes on fire while shouting bushfire. That man is truly a god. Back in high school, friend had an open house and threw a party. Uncle came to check on us, and we found him smelling a girl's vomit in the bathroom and playing with himself. That's one fricked up fetish. Niece. A guy at his pants while trying to dance with a girl. He was beyond fricked up and that defined the rest of his stay-in career. Little Willie at his pants? He's since moved to the north and wants to nuke everyone for making fun of him. Heathen. Dear leader has no AOLA. Watched a guy lose at beer pong and get mad enough that he turned around and punched the first thing he could land his hand on, which turned out to be a window. In the movies, if you break a window, you don't get hurt. In real life, if you slam your fist through a window, the falling glass cuts you so deep you practically amputate your own hand. There was so much blood that we thought that was what happened. We thought he sliced his hand off. One of the sober partiers rushed him to the hospital while the rest of us just left, because the scene involved so much blood and gore that none of us even wanted to party anymore. He ended up okay. Has a gnarly scar for the rest of his life, but at least he didn't actually lose his hand. Yup, seen this same kind of thing happen. It's a freaking bloodbath. Looks like some literally got murdered there. Some kid at a nearby high school almost died when he ran into a glass door and tried to stop himself with his hands. Glass broke. Hands went right through. Both wrists cut open. Blood everywhere. When I was a kid, in the UK all glass panels and windows in school had that metal wire mesh grid stuff inside. So if shattered it would just kind of hang together. Maybe that stuff turned out to be dangerous some other way? I was about 18 and at a friend's gathering party. Said friend's mum came home from her date drunk, followed me into the bathroom and wrapped her hands around my dong and tried to go down on me. This would be like an ultimate fantasy if she was hot, but sadly not. Still not told him. That or the time a girl took off her pants and squatted onto a Smirnoff ice bottle and proceeded to pleasure herself with it and post 4 pictures. Ice. Saw some guy put a banana in the washing machine, put it on a 40 spin and masturbate whilst watching it. Don't do drugs, kids. A stripper whipping my boss with his own belt. I was 15, and this was a McDonald's staff party. Update, as I have a lot of replies asking for context. Clarification. The stripper was perfectly normal, not Mayor McCheese or some other nightmarish Macca's character. This wasn't a strip club. It was held at an employee's house as the franchisee forbade us from using the store or hiring an actual venue. Some of the older guys booked her, as it had been his birthday recently and he had just worked. We were all drinking, and as she was a private hire nobody got ID'd. Also, you can work at 14 where I live Australia and work is exactly what I did. I guess your boss was loving it. Okay Reddit guys, subscribe now, or I will expose your drunken pictures.